So now you're looking at my desktop. And guess what? You see no icon.
No, I don't.
I think we lost Bob.
We lost Bob, yeah.
Where did Bob go? Bob.
But he went where his missing icons went.
That's right. That's right.
He hit the wrong
He-
button.
He hid the whole desktop.
He'll be back.
Better let him in.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't let him in, eh? Here he
There
comes.
he is.
Here he is. I gotta find him here and I'll make him co-host. Where the heck did he go?
Under N.
Oh, here we are.
Well, that was a nice presentation.
Yeah. Where did you go, Bob?
Well, very simple. I clicked the wrong button. And all of a sudden, instead of being in the meeting, I was totally out of the meeting. Okay, let me close this one.
The good news is we saw none of your desktop icons.
Right. There are no icons on my desktop. And you might find out later in the show why there aren't any icons on my desktop.
I
But
just
if you
right.
have-
You can right click
if-
and say
right,
hide
if
the
you have
desktop
no-
icons.
If you have no icons on your desktop, do a right click on any empty space on your desktop, and you have a menu that comes up. And the very last item says,
You go to view.
under view, and under view, it says,
Show
show desktop icons. Okay.
Right.
I chose not to show my desktop icons. I happen to want to look at the picture, not my desktop icons. But that's one place. If you're missing your icons here, it could be because you have that turned off. Now, the other thing is there's system tray on the bottom. Well, if you're missing an icon here, it could be because it's hidden. And that's that up arrow that you see here. And you'll have other icons in here that you decided to turn off, but there's still, if you use this, you can still get to them. But you can also turn this part off so that you don't get to see that little up arrow. And if that's the case, then you won't be able to get to those until you actually go to the settings part. And you do that by doing a right click on an empty part on the tray and select taskbar settings. And when you get to taskbar settings, under your icons, here you get to see all of the things that are on your tray. And you also get to see all the ones that you've got turned off. And if you've got it turned off and you also have it hidden on the tray, well, then maybe it's time to go in here and find it and turn on what you're missing.
Is there a setting in there to refresh the icon cache?
It's got nothing to do with the cache. If you have it turned off, you're not supposed to be seeing
Yeah,
it.
no, but I mean in that panel you're in there somewhere, is there one to refresh the cache?
No. There's nothing in here for refreshing. But those are the basic places where if you're missing an icon, where you should be looking to see. Again, the question we received didn't specify. So there's really no way to hone down and exactly answer that particular question. And if the person who sent that question would give us some specifics, we'll be more than happy to exactly explore what the problem is and find an answer for it.
Thanks, Bob. So
Mhm.
we certainly would are looking for, if you have a question and you want to an answer, and we're not going to do a long answer, but a little short answer to your question. It gives us an opportunity to research it a bit before the show. Just send it to admin, ADMIN at techforsenior.com, and we'll get it, and I'll send it off to whoever I think will best answer the question.
And the more details you put in it, the better it is for us to be able to give you the kind of answer you want.
Right. And it's got to be an answer that, like, my computer won't turn on is not a good is not a good question, right? But something that we could maybe help you with or look up or make some recommendations in a short-term sort of way. Not like explain Linux and all the command line structure would sort of not be a good question. But if you like, we can do that. And because we have half an hour before the show that we're sitting talking, and it could certainly be productive as well. Jim, go ahead.
Oh, this question is more for Bob. I've been having, as you know, computer problems and resetting stuff. And I was trying to uninstall AVG, and I keep getting your subscription to Total AV has expired, and it keeps popping up, and I have no way of cannot find out how to get rid of it.
Total
I
AV,
don't even remember what it is.
Jim, Total AV is not AVG. It's a
I
totally
meant
different,
Avast, excuse me.
and Avast and AVG and almost all other antivirus programs have a specific tool designed just to remove all the stuff that's not removed when you do simple uninstall. Okay, you should go into and find their removal tool. And that's what you need to run to get rid of all the other stuff that's left behind.
Okay, so I can just Google removal tool for Total AV
Or
something like that.
AVG. Well,
Okay.
again, you're saying one thing and you're talking about something else.
Well, what comes up on my screen says your Total AV has expired.
Total AV.
You want to renew? Yeah.
Total AV is not Avast. It is not AVG. Total AV is a totally different product. Has
Well, that would
nothing to do
explain it.
with Avast or AVG. Okay.
Okay.
So what you should do is to find out how to remove Total AV.
Well, yeah, that's why I was asking. I obviously got it confused with the AV and AVG and what have you. Oh,
And
well,
the Vera and a whole bunch of other things. Yep.
Thank you. I
Jim,
will.
Okay.
Jim, I think if you just went to uninstall in Windows and chose the uninstaller, would it not tell you?
No, that only removes a partial.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I tried, and I looked it up in CCleaner, tried to find it, and I couldn't find anything, but I still get that same screen popping up during my computer sessions.
Yeah, Total AV is an antivirus program totally separate from what AVG or Avast is. It's another
online
program.
Yeah, is that the online one that pulls all the other antivirus programs to determine which ones think it is a virus or not? Is that the same
I
one?
tell you
Total
right now,
AV?
I haven't a clue.
No.
That's what's been confusing me, and I probably did one of those beginner mistakes, which I've done, and hit the wrong button, in downloading something. But I will do what you suggest and look for a specific uninstall tool.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll post the link in the chat.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Bob.
Let me get my hand down if it isn't already.
Very good. If you've just joined, we are sitting having a chat before the show starts in about 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, any comments, anything, if you're new here, we'd like to hear from you. We always like to find out who new people are and how they found out about the show. And we'll be getting on with the show shortly. And we have a big show for you today, so should be lots of fun.
Jim, the link's in the chat.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. I got it.
Okay.
The one I was thinking of was called Virus Total. That's the one that pulls all the antivirus programs to find out whether they think it's a virus or not.
Yeah, well, I'm on their webpage, and I think I got it because I was somehow in Microsoft Edge, and I thought I was installing Avast, and it was something else.
That's how people get in trouble.
You got that right. They don't call
That's
me
why-
Glass the Glitch Finder for nothing.
That's why it's very, very important that you email me every time you have a problem and write me a check for $200, and I will take care of your problem.
Uh-huh. Hey, I can do it for half that price. We have a bidding war.
Yeah, it's amazing the number of scammers. We had a friend of mine was trying to sell his old used car on I guess it was Auto Trader, and he got a phone call from someone from the Canadian military, and they said and they offered him a lot of money for his car, and he thought great, and the fella said, well, of course I can't tell you where I am because I'm in a war zone and it's secret, and I want to buy the car for my brother. And he said, so you'll never see me and you don't know who I am, but I'm going to send you the money well in advance so you have it in your account before the car carrier comes to take the car away. And so he phoned me up and he was all excited about this and said, this is just great. And then the next call he got was, of course, the fellow wanted to pay in Bitcoin. And he said to do that, he needed access to his bank account because he wanted to transfer the money in directly to the bank account. So the thing was getting shadier and shadier and shadier as you went into the thing. And I thought, gee, I mean, is there no end to this? But people would probably fall for that. And the fact that they were going to pay him this insane amount of money for his vehicle, like Bob always says, if it's too good to be true, think twice, right, Bob?
Yeah, don't do it, period.
Well, the sad part is my wife is an artist, and we were selling stuff from her website, and we got one of these sort of funny ones, turned it over to the police, and the police said, if you haven't lost any money, forget it, because we're so overwhelmed with these complaints, we can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Very frustrating.
Indeed. So there are a million ways to get your money taken from you. And that's why Bob talks for 10 minutes every week, and he never has a lack of stuff to talk about, right, Bob?
I'm still trying to find a week where I can say, hey, I have nothing this week. It just doesn't happen.
It never happens. That's right. Indeed. So, great. Kathleen, is it snowing in New York, or what's happening over in New York there?
Actually, it snowed for maybe 2 minutes on, I think it was Saturday, but so far, absolutely nothing all season. And it's now 53 degrees.
There you go. Okay.
I'm wondering, it has snowed in April, so there's still a chance we may get some snow. Otherwise, I probably will be records.
We're going to get some really cold weather on Wednesday, and it's going to go down to probably -5 overnight. So we might even get a little snow. Last fling before spring. So
it actually got down to 11 one day, but it quickly vanished, and it's been in the 50s and 60s. So no winter. I miss winter.
I always think of New York as in the winter, there's snow all over the place and it's snowing. And I guess that's in the old days, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Kathleen-
that's
Kathleen moved-
upstate New York as well.
Kathleen moved to New Mexico. We have winter.
No, I grew up in Colorado, so I'm familiar with winter.
It's 71 here in Florida and in
Oh, well,
Bradenton.
you stop. Well, you stop.
And it's going to be cool tonight. It's going to go down to about 62.
Yeah, look at Mike. He's sitting there
Yeah.
smiling as he's making money. He just sits there and it's-
Charging my battery.
the money's just pouring in as he's smiling there. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
we had a group outside Friday night with a pit fire, and people were roasting hot dogs and marshmallows and
Yeah,
just having adult beverages, just being very comfortable.
turn it off again. No, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
By the way, it's 71 degrees in Georgetown, Texas too right now.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Right. Well, we have 3 minutes to go. Any 3-minute questions?
No, but I got my file rendered after the second time. I had to
Oh,
do
you
it
did?
twice
Oh, you
since
did.
we've been
Now,
online.
did you
Yeah,
play
yeah.
it? Does it work?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Supposed to be 81 in Texas today, where I'm at.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I have a
Yeah.
question on Zoom. Have you guys noticed a different sign-in page when you're getting your program started?
Yes. Yeah. That's Zoom is always changing.
Yeah, I wish they'd give some instructions on how to use it once they get it up, or give you some warning that they're doing it.
There's videos right out on the Zoom website, all kinds of tutorials to learn anything and everything about Zoom.
Yeah, did they come out in advance and say, by the way, we're changing everything?
No,
Take a look at our tutorial.
no.
If you have your Zoom program installed or app installed, then you don't have any of that problem.
Well, I do have it installed, but it's still change. I mean, that doesn't stop the change. It makes the change happen automatically, doesn't it?
Now
No,
does.
you simply enter the link and you're there.
Are you keeping Zoom up to date?
Oh, yeah. No, we ran into some problems the other day in trying to get the host part of it started. And my partner started it before I got to the computer, and he tried to change all the passwords and stuff by himself, and I'm the owner. And I said, you can't do that. You gotta let me do it, please. So,
All right.
Ron, you're
Anyway.
ready.
We've got to get going now, everyone. We're going to start the show. The show is going to start. So let me just mute all.
thank you.
Get everybody muted, and we'll share my screen. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. It is Tech for Senior. This is episode 151, February the 20th, 2023, soon to be season 4. Pretty close. Anyway, welcome. If you're listening to us on YouTube, thank you for coming. If you are listening to this as a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. Speaking of the show today, we have an action-packed show. We'll be with you for about an hour. We're going to have all sorts of things to talk about. Bob will be talking about security He's going to talk about desktops and how to change your windows. Mike, of course, here is going to talk on EV battery technology and all the new features as he's sitting there smiling as he's charging up his batteries. Hewie's going to tell us how to use Chat GPT. And then we're going to stop the live feed early today because I'm going to be talking about a brand new feature that just was announced about Starlink on Thursday of this week. And I have a video for you on that. And this is big time news, and I want to be able to show it to you today. So you can say you first saw it on Tech for Senior. We're then going to have Ray's music outro, our Q&A, followed by our premiere event. Now, all of those of you who saw the Saturday newsletter will know that in our premiere event today, and I'll be putting the link in the show notes as well, in the chat. And I'm going to be talking about how to make a movie with Google Photos. That's a interesting one. Ray's going to finish off his excuse me. He's going to finish off his third Plex server presentation, and Hewie's going to tell us how to make a GIF through PowerPoint. Remember that, Hewie? You told that was a that was a really good presentation. So really exciting, 3 really great topics today on our premiere event, and that will be at 1/2 the hour, just after our Q&A. So if you are, so please stick around for that. It'll come on, and of course it's taped, and if you can't make it, then you can watch it later. So that will, of course, be on our that'll be on our YouTube channel. Remind everybody that this coming Thursday we will be doing Tech for Senior live. We have some incredible news we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Netflix and all the changes that are occurring. And I'm going to give you the Canadian experience because we're the first country that it's getting clobbered on. We'll talk all about that. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court decision this Tuesday, which may change YouTube, and YouTube may even not be here after the big court case on Tuesday. We'll talk all about that and the news about that. And then, and of course, Facebook, you're going to be paying $15 a month to, well, maybe $12 if you're in the United States to use Facebook. So what the heck's all this about? Well, listen on this Thursday, and we'll be talking about that on our show. And then Hewie and I, of course, what do we have on Thursday, Hewie?
I don't know. Maybe we ought to learn something about Chromebooks.
Learning, yeah, that'd be cool. Learning Chromebooks. We're going to have a really good session on that. I'll be talking about Google Docs, how to use Google Docs on a Chromebook, and also Chat GPT on a Chromebook. Hewie, you're going to be doing all the news reviews.
I'm going to be talking about a lot of the news stuff that's been out there about Chromebooks that we haven't had time to cover.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff coming up, and that's right after our Tech for Senior live show. So that will be, so it's a busy week for us, but we should have lots of fun. I want to thank, I want to thank everyone for coming today and see how and we're going to have a busy show. I want to get going early. Hewie, any comments, questions, concerns?
Nope, just glad we're here, and happy President's Day.
All right, Bob, thank you for helping us early today with that presentation. How's your week gone?
Good. You have one presentation that you didn't announce.
Did I
that
miss
has
something?
to do with the new Bing with Chat GPT that I'll be demonstrating.
Oh,
which
that's
you can
right.
Also
Yeah.
put on your, if you're
It
using
is on my
Chrome
list.
or any, yep.
It is on my list. It's just my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. It's getting old, Bob. Thank you for reminding me. And of course, Bill James. How are you doing, Bill?
We're doing great.
We had a good session last Thursday. That was fun to see on the show.
Enjoyed
Yeah,
it
it
a
was a
lot.
good show. Yeah, that was a good show. Thanks. All right. And of course, Ray Baxter, are you shoveling snow or what the heck's going on in Pine, Arizona?
Yeah, the snow's still around a bit, but not as much as it could be. So we're doing all right. I went to my first air show yesterday. That was interesting. Have you ever been to the one in Buckeye when you were in
No.
Arizona? That's
No.
very nice event.
Excellent. Excellent. The hordes have all left after the Super Bowl and the waste.
Oh yeah,
management.
yeah, it's back to normal,
Back to normal. Okay.
whatever that is.
All right. And of course, Mike, your big presentation today. We look forward to that.
And I'll be putting a link in chat to the reference videos after it's done.
Excellent. Those of you who look at the Saturday newsletter would know that I feature a YouTube channel every week, and this week was those of you who saw looked at the channel. It's about bald eagles, and the channel there's a webcam in a tree in Northern California, and they're following this pair of eagles which have been there for 6 or 7 years. They're resident eagles in the area, and they're sitting on 2 eggs, and it's interesting to watch. The camera runs 24/7, and it's pretty interesting. And these 2 eggs are going to hatch, and there's going to be little ones. So if you're interested in eagles and you want to follow along, it's a very interesting channel. The links are all in our Saturday newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for our free twice weekly newsletter, you should do so, and you can do that at www.techforsenior.com. Hewie, just a comment about learning Chromebooks. Do we need to re-register, or what are we going to do with register?
No, it's if they're registered, a reminder will go out today, and another one will go out on Wednesday or Thursday morning. And if you're already registered, you don't have to register again. It'll be the same link that you received, and you'll get a reminder with the link.
Excellent. Okay, super duper. So, and you can register on techforsenior.com, right? At our website.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, hopefully to see everything. I think it's going to be a good show this Thursday about Chromebooks. All right, Bob, let's get going because we have a busy morning here. So let's get going with your segment.
Okay, dope. Shoot.
That's not a good word to
Oh no,
use. Doesn't instill confidence.
It's fine. Not a problem.
There you go. That's good confidence builder. There you go.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending February 17th, 2023. Stalkerware-type app developers fined by New York Attorney General. Stalkerware is a huge problem when it comes to intrusion into people's personal lives. Friends, strangers, family members, abusive spouses, and many more can potentially dabble in this maligned pastime and cause all manner of trouble for their target. Thanks to the New York Attorney General's office, some folks will shortly be made aware of a little extra something lurking in their devices after it landed a developer with a $410,000 fine and a requirement to notify people that their devices are running monitoring software. Read more at Malwarebytes Labs. Apple's iOS, iPad OS, Mac OS, and Safari under attack with new zero-day flaw. Apple on Monday rolled out security updates for iOS, iPad OS, Mac OS, and Safari to address a zero-day flaw that it said had been actively exploited in the wild. Tracked as CVE 2023-23529, the issue relates to a type confusion bug in the WebKit browser engine that could be activated when processing maliciously crafted web content, culminating in arbitrary code execution. The iPhone maker said the bug was addressed with improved checks adding it's aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited. An anonymous researcher has been credited with reporting the flaw. If you haven't updated your devices, do it now. Read more at the Hacker News. Namecheap email system hacked. Customers receive phishing scam. Domain registrar and hosting service Namecheap's customers got an unexpected message from the company this weekend informing them that they need to pay a $6.95 fee to complete a DHL parcel delivery. However, the message is a phishing scam made to look real using the official Namecheap.com domain. Discerning users spotted the phishing email and reached out to Namecheap CEO Richard Kirkendall via Twitter. The company chief replied that the company was looking into the issue and shared a cyber news story that reported an API leak involving third-party email clients MailChimp, Mailgun, and SendGrid, alluding that this incident may be connected to the phishing scheme. Read more at Review Geek. Microsoft releases patches for 3 actively exploited window vulnerabilities. Microsoft on Tuesday released security updates to address 75 flaws spawning its product portfolio, 3 of which have come under active exploitation in the wild. The updates are in addition to 22 flaws the window maker patched in its Chromium-based Edge browser over the past month. Out of the 75 vulnerabilities, 9 are rated critical and 66 are rated important in severity. 37 out of the 75 bugs are classified as remote code execution flaws. 3 are zero-day exploits that have been exploited in the wild. Again, if you have not updated your system, do it ASAP. Read more at the Hacker News. Expert warn of Beep, a new evasive malware that can fly under the radar. Cybersecurity researchers have unearthed a new piece of evasive malware dubbed Beep that's designed to fly under the radar and drop additional payloads onto a compromised host. It seemed as if the authors of this malware were trying to implement as many anti-debugging and anti-VM, anti-sandbox techniques as they could find. Minerva Labs researcher Natalie Zargarov said, one such technique involves delaying execution through the use of the Beep API function, hence the malware's name. Read more at the Hacker News. MSysSoft says hackers are spoofing its certs to breach networks. A hacker is using fake code-signed certificates impersonating cybersecurity firms MSysSoft to target customers using its security products, hoping to bypass their defenses. In a new security advisory, MSysSoft warned that one of its customers was targeted by hackers using an executable signed by spoof MSysSoft certificate. The company believes this was done to trick the customer into thinking any detection were a false positive and to allow the program to run. Read more at Bleeping Computer. Ransomware gang uses new zero-day to steal data of 1 million patients. A prolific ransomware operation is back with old tricks and new victims. Community Health Systems, one of the largest healthcare providers in the United States with close to 80 hospitals in 16 states, confirmed this week that criminal hackers accessed the personal and protected health information of up to 1 million patients. As a result of the security breach experienced by Fortra, protected health information and personal information of certain patients of the company's affiliates were exposed by Fortra's attacker, according to the filing by Community Health Systems, which was first spotted by databreaches.net. The healthcare giant added that it would offer identity theft protection services and notify all affected individuals whose information was exposed, but said there had been no material interruption in its delivery of patient care. Read more at TechCrunch. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Read Avast's article on smishing, the elephant in the room. Be vigilant and cautious when receiving text messages from unknown or unexpected sources. Read the article at the link listed or watch my video on this topic at the YouTube link listed. Did you know Samsung was founded as a grocery store back in March 1st, 1938. Echo Bay was almost the name of eBay, but the domain name echobay.com was already registered by a mining company, so the company's owner simply shortened the Echo Bay term to eBay.com. In advertisements for the iPhone, the time is almost always set to 9:41 a.m., which was the time of day that the original iPhone was introduced to the world by Steve Jobs. Just thought you might want to know. And that wraps up another week of the Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. So here's the question. Your computer or laptop's desktop, do you like it cluttered or icons all over the place, which makes it easy to get to those folders, files, videos, whatever you have on top of your desktop? Or do you prefer it uncluttered, where the only thing you see is whatever image you chose as the background for your desktop? What if you can have both? Let me show you how. Originally, this is probably how desktop looks. Under View, Show Desktop. This is the default. If you don't want to see all those things on top of your desktop and just want to see the image, right-click on any empty spot on your desktop and select View, and this time uncheck, and you now have an uncluttered desktop. But what about all those icons you're accustomed to accessing? Well, there's an easy way to get to them. Remember, the desktop is nothing but a folder. So if you come down to where the folders are, in my case, I have pinned desktop to my folders. So I do a right click, and there's desktop. Select it, and here are all the things that were on the desktop, easily accessible. I have the folders up on top, and then I have all the other things easily available to me. I arrange them. View, I have it as large icons. And the sort, I have it more type and ascending. And under group, I have it by type. And that's how they're arranged. So that makes it easy for me to get to any of the things that are on the desktop if I need to. But when I don't need it, just close the folder and my desktop is nice and uncluttered. And I just look at the picture I chose for the desktop. So it's the best of both worlds. Again, the desktop is nothing but a folder. So why not use it like you do all the other folders in Windows Explorer? Give it some thought. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. That's good news, particularly if you're going to make a presentation, because you often want to get rid of all those cluttered desktops. You know, a nice clean desktop if you're going to record your screen, eh?
Mine's clean all the time.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. That's good news. All right, Mike, we're all ready. I'll be playing your playing your video. Hey, my car's coming 2 weeks. I'm going to be able to tell everyone about it. So EV coming. All right, let's share your screen, and we'll see where we go.
Hi, I'm Mike Ungerman of the Central Florida Computer Society. Today we'll continue with the fourth in a series on electric vehicles. In our previous presentations, we've reviewed the technology of electric vehicles or EVs, and how batteries and EVs work, with a focus on lithium-ion batteries. Today, we're going to take a look at the way ahead in batteries for EVs, improving how lithium-ion batteries are made and packaged, as well as the chemistry to produce alternatives that are more efficient and safer to use. Lithium-ion batteries are the most common in EVs today. And like this battery pack from Tesla, they're most commonly used type of battery in electric vehicles due to their high energy density, lightweight, and long life. However, there are some risks associated with the use of these batteries. There is a potential of thermal runaway resulting in explosion and/or fire. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to thermal runaway, a situation in which the battery begins to rapidly increase its temperature due to an internal chemical reaction. This can occur when the battery is overcharged, short-circuited, exposed to extensive temperatures, or damaged in some way. Thermal runaway can cause the battery to swell, leak, and even catch fire, posing a significant risk to users and property. To prevent thermal runaway, lithium-ion batteries must be designed and manufactured with careful attention to safety protocols. Battery manufacturers must also ensure that their batteries are properly tested and certified to meet industry standards. Exposure to water, if damaged, resulting in hard-to-control fires. Fires can erupt from water intrusion of lithium-ion battery packs due to accidental damage or exposure to water from floods and major storms. The chemistry of batteries containing lithium-ion have this inherent risk. Also, the potential to lose capacity over time. Another concern with lithium-ion batteries is the potential for them to lose capacity over time. This is caused by the repeated charging and discharging of the battery, which can cause the cells to degrade. This can lead to reduced performance and range, as well as increased charging time. I'll move my mouse over this graph, and you can see that the vertical axis is percentage of charging range, and then mileage in kilometers. So we start off here at 0 kilometers and 100% of battery range. The running average is this red line, which really isn't that bad overall, coming down to approximately 95% up to 100,000 kilometers. But it does show in this scattergram what the decline in the battery range would be over time. The next several slides focus on alternatives that are either in production today or being planned for 2023 and 24. The battery pack you see here is made by Toyota using solid-state technology. Solid-state batteries, although still of lithium-ion chemistry, offer a number of advantages. They can be made much thinner and lighter. They have a much higher energy density, storing more energy in the same size, allowing more range on a single charge. Solid-state batteries also charge much faster, and they're more durable and can withstand extreme temperatures and vibration, lowering some of the risks we looked at of using lithium-ion batteries in EVs. Lithium sulfur batteries, they're coming and they'll be on sale soon. Sony claims the new technology will have a 40% higher energy density and lower production costs than today's lithium-ion batteries. There are issues as the electrodes degrade too fast at the moment for commercial applications, but a number of institutions are working on a solution for this stumbling block. Lithium sulfur might be sort of a halfway house replacement for lithium-ion rather than a radical successor, but it is on the way and it will be a significant improvement. Zinc iron batteries. They're under development with a non-combustible water-based electrolyte solution. The active materials used in zinc iron batteries are very energy dense, allowing for sufficiently high energy to be stored. The manufacturing of zinc ion batteries can be scaled up from current lithium ion manufacturing processes, since it doesn't require the strict controls over lithium's processing. This allows for the conversion of existing processes and shortens the time from manufacturing to consumer. The batteries have a longer service life than lithium ion, resulting in a far lower cost of storage. The following several slides look into the forecast for battery technology over the next several years. Some may never see production, but are tempting. Aluminum air batteries. They're a viable technology, but they're a primary battery and it doesn't recharge. Consider it like your flashlight battery. An aluminum air battery relieves the hassle of finding a charging station. They have a very high energy density, 8 to 9 times greater than current lithium-ion batteries. It's estimated that an aluminum air battery pack in an EV would last about 5,400 miles. Swapping out a depleted aluminum air battery for a recycled one is much cheaper than the cost of swapping out a Tesla battery. And the replaceable parts needed are the aluminum plates, which can be 100% recycled. You pay only for the miles you drive. Is this better than lithium? Redox flow batteries may be in the far future for EVs. Redox flow battery science is already sound and in production, but for large-scale power storage. If developed to smaller form factors, they could have significant effects for electric vehicles in terms of improved energy density, safer operation, battery life, and cost. Other similar flow design batteries are also in play. One uses organic compounds to replace scarce vanadium in present designs. Aluminum graphite batteries. So here we're using aluminum in a slightly different form. Stanford University has created an aluminum battery that could slash charging times. For example, a smartphone could take a full charge in just 60 seconds, and a car could charge in minutes. Wouldn't that be interesting? With an aluminum negatively charged cathode and a graphite anode, it's safe, lightweight, and it does have the potential for improved energy density. Unfortunately, the development isn't even close to a perfect commercially viable aluminum graphite battery, but it could be one to watch in the future. As I researched YouTube videos for supporting battery technology, I added them to a playlist to share with our viewers. This is an active list with videos relating to today's presentation at the top of the list chronologically. They will update as I discover and add new ones. Feel free to browse them at your leisure. The URL, I use bit.ly/EV-batteries. And this will be published in future issues of the Tech for Senior newsletter. So that's bit.ly/EV-batteries. So, although lithium-ion batteries are the mainstay of today's EV technology, alternatives do exist today, which are appearing in 2023 EV production, and more are being developed for 2024 and beyond. Keep in mind, as fantastic as the future technology seems today, remember that a lot of yesterday's science fiction is now science fact. My next videos will focus on the charging of your EV, including charging at home, charging at commercial charging stations, and even swapping out your entire battery pack on a regular basis when it needs charging.
Thanks, Mike. That was that's good. Lots of choices. I wonder if my new car will have the solid state lithium-ion battery pack. I don't know.
Well, when you mentioned that you only drive 3,000 miles a year, you could get one of these swappable battery packs and swap it out once a year and never charge your car otherwise.
Hey, exciting times, exciting times. Speaking of exciting times, Hewie, are you ready to show us Chat GPT?
I am. I can
The
find
rendered, the
right-
rendered version, eh?
Yes, I hope so. Let me move up here and find my desktop and find the file. Bring it. Mastering Chat GPT, 3 key strategies for improved results in your conversations. I'm Hewie Poplock. Are you struggling to get answers you need from Chat GPT? Don't worry, I've got you covered with some helpful tips to make the most of this powerful AI chatbot from OpenAI. ChatGPT has become incredibly popular among people from all walks of life, including teachers, lawyers, programmers, and content creators, as it's an all-in-one tool for tackling problems that can be expressed in words. However, randomly throwing questions at ChatGPT won't guarantee you get amazing results that others have experienced. To get the most out of ChatGPT, you'll need to try some of these helpful techniques. Describe a preferred complexity of response. Although ChatGPT is highly intelligent, it has limitations in understanding certain requests that human could grasp easily. If you encounter a scenario where ChatGPT fails to provide a satisfactory answer or declines to respond altogether, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's incapable of providing a correct answer. It could simply be due to the phrasing of the question being incomprehensible to ChatGPT. In such situations, try rephrasing the question multiple times until you obtain a suitable response from ChatGPT. Let's take a look at some examples. I'm logged into OpenAI.com. I also am logged into my account. And let's take a look at describing a preferred complexity of response. First, let's try, what are the key features and benefits of cloud computing, and how does it differ from traditional IT infrastructure? And it completes our conversation. I'm not going to read this all to you, but you can get an idea what it's doing and how it's saying it. Just take a look at a couple of the items as it's printing. Okay, next, what we're going to do is we're going to describe it a little bit better. We're going to have the same question, but this time we're going to say, explain it like I'm a 5-year-old. So we put at the end of it, explain like I'm a 5-year-old. It's saying basically the same thing, but in a much different tone and language. Let's try it one more time, but this time we're going to say explain in football terms. Again, it's basically the same answer, but in a different context and more in tune to maybe what your audience or what you need to have in your explanation. So you want to describe a preferred complexity of response, or all kinds of things that you could ask it to do. Get industry specific or niche response. Since ChatGPT is designed to be a versatile chatbot, its responses may be generalized and include words or concepts that are not relevant to your specific context or niche of interest. However, with a few adjustments, you can fine-tune ChatGPT's responses to align with a particular industry, niche, or profession. For instance, if you're discussing the legal profession, you may want ChatGPT to use legal terminology instead of everyday language. To achieve this, you can prompt ChatGPT to adopt a legal persona and provide further instructions that are specific to the legal industry. This will enable ChatGPT to provide context and industry-specific responses, making the conversation more relevant and informative. Get industry-specific or niche response. Let's try this statement. Just in general, describe the health aspects of a smartwatch. And this is a very general response to that comment. The next way we're going to approach this is by saying, I want you to answer as a doctor. So it's in much more medical terms and talking about it from the medical point of view. Our next try with using the same idea, but instead of a doctor, this time we're going to be asking for it to be answered like a computer nerd. It's in a much more technical aspect as opposed to it being a medical or just a general description. When using ChatGPT, not only can it simulate an entity, it can also generate responses in various styles. The possibilities are endless and entirely up to your imagination. For instance, you can prompt it to compose a poem in the Shakespearean language, or ask it to craft a song imitating the style of your preferred musician or songwriter. Get ChatGPT to respond in specific styles. The first one we're going to say is, let's ask it to write me a happy birthday poem. Very nice, very general. Let's try it next in the style of Shakespeare. And as you can see, it's, as you read it down, it's much as if it were written by Shakespeare. Let's try one more style. Let's have a happy birthday poem in the style of a limerick. And you can see a much different way of looking at that same question and getting a much different response, yet a very good one. At times, ChatGPT may encounter prompts that require lengthy responses, and as a result, the response may get truncated midway. To resolve this issue, a straightforward solution is to prompt ChatGPT with the phrase continue for regular text or continue code for an incomplete code block. This will enable ChatGPT to continue generating a complete response without any interruptions. Our fourth or bonus prompt is prompted ChatGPT to continue. Let's pick this particular question. What's the difference between a Mac computer and a PC? And as you can see, it tells us many things. But let's say it's, we really need a much longer question than that. So all we have to do is type in continue. And it picks up right from where we were and adds more information to our article. So use the continue to make your article longer. To sum up what I've been talking about, get creative to enjoy ChatGPT. One of the best things about ChatGPT is there are no hard rules. You don't necessarily have to follow a rigid formula to use the AI chatbot. How much you can utilize the chatbot boils down to how creative you can get with your prompts. Well, you're welcome to use all of the hacks that I've mentioned. You'll need creativity to solve your own unique problems using ChatGPT. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Hewie. That's cool. I learned a lot. Thank you so much for doing that. Bob, now you're going to tell us how to get it. You're going to tell us how to get ChatGPT for free.
Let me add one thing to Hewie's. Elaborate is another excellent thing. If you have it give you a short summarization of just say elaborate, and it will spell it out for you in detail.
Thank you.
Yeah, and don't worry about, try different things.
Yep. Use it as a tool. So yesterday, when I opened up my Edge browser and I did my usual check at the new Bing search tool to see whether or not I'd be greeted by the usual message, "You're on the waiting list," I got pleasantly surprised because when I highlighted that Bing icon, guess what? I now have the new Bing search engine with ChatGPT built in. And as you can see, when I do highlight this, it opens up this new window. And from here, I can chat, I can compose. And as it says here, ask me anything. There are restrictions because ChatGPT only works through information gathered up through the end of 2021. So if you want something that happened after that date and you get an actual answer, it's probably not a true one. Up till 2021, this thing works like a charm and has lots of information and makes life a whole lot easier for you. But if you need information for something that happened after 2021, this doesn't have that information available. Keep that in mind when you use it. There's also a change in the actual search bar in Edge. You'll see recent searches, but I can also put in what's new in Bing. And you have an answer, but you have lots of other things that you can choose from. This is just a search result, and it incorporates some of the features of ChatGPT. But you do have the chat feature. You can also do shopping or get images or videos or maps and more. But the biggest added feature is, of course, the chat feature. Put it in, and this opens up ChatGPT right in your search box. Just thought you might want to take a look at what's new in Bing search in the Edge browser. But you can also add that Bing feature to a different Chromium-based browser. Let me show you how to do that. In this case, I've opened up the Chrome browser. Next, select the three-dot menu, select Settings. Now go down to Search Engine. That's, of course, set to Google. That's the default search engine in the Chrome browser. But use the pull-down menu and select Bing. Before we do this, let me go back and put this back into Google. Let me show you what my normal home screen looks like. This is the default. Now we're going to change this thing over to Bing search engine to get the advantages of that ChatGPT being added within the Bing search, but it will change your default home screen in your Google Chrome browser. So let's go back into the three-dot menu, back to Settings, back to Search, and change this to Bing. Now, let's go to a new tab, and you notice Home now looks like this. It no longer has what you originally had. Yes, you still have some shortcuts on the bottom that you set up, but they're not the same as they were when you had it set for the Google search. You are now using Microsoft's Bing search, and this is your new home page. If you're not signed into your Microsoft account, you will at this point have the option. I've already signed in because I'm using Bing. I might as well get the points when I do a search. As you see here, starts off with Ask Me Anything, and that is ChatGPT. That's the change that will occur if you decide to make Bing your default search engine on a different Chromium-based browser. As you can see, it's now available on other Chromium-based browsers, not just Edge. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. Very interesting. Thank you so much for doing that. Now we're going to finish off with our YouTube feed because I have a video I want to play for everyone. So the YouTube feed, if you're over there watching, thank you so much for coming. We will see you next week, same time, same place. If you want to come over here to our show on YouTube or on Zoom, come on over and we'll let you in for the final part of the presentation and also raise music. We will be a little over today. Sorry for that, but I did want to add this video. So let me just